Hello there. Welcome in. Hi, I'm Chef JT. Happy to see you back. Yeah, microphone was not on to start the stream, and I was in the middle of washing my hands when the counter ended. Not the smoothest start of stream to date. Well, welcome in. Happy to see all of you. Hi there, Will Poker. Welcome in, SoFluff. Happy to see all of you in here. Coffee first. It's like trying to get into chicken before I even do coffee. Oh. Oh. Rinse our filter out here. On the lighter side of a grind tonight for the coffee. This grinder seems to like to vary somewhere between 21, almost 22 grams, and we're down at 19 today. I didn't start a timer. Oops. I tried to read that, so if I didn't quite make it through it. It's been rainy here today, though. We've definitely entered winter, rainy, meh, every day for like weeks on end time of year. Let's see. Yesterday we had rain. But it was well below freezing, then it turned everything into ice. Then it snowed 3 inches. Yeah, that does not sound like nice driving weather. Yeah. And then you get the snow compounding on top of the ice, which sort of makes the ice almost worse because depending on how they deal with snow where you live, if they're just trying to like scrape it off, half of the time it just leaves the ice. But we're working with yogurt tonight. Our ingredient challenge is to use yogurt. And my plans are to do basically 2 dishes tonight. I'm going to be doing a yogurt marinated / roasted hindquarter of chicken. I'm going to do a potato salad using yogurt. And then I'm going to be doing a mixed berry yogurt and marshmallow cream dip. Or rather, I should say a yogurt and marshmallow cream dip for fresh berries and fruit. So that is our dinner plan for the evening. They don't use salt on roads here, only sand and grass. I never understood, like, yeah, salt is horrible on roads cars, metal, but it actually dissolves things. I don't understand the salt and the gravel. JK with the 20 stream streak. And also, I did not properly thank you last stream. Thank you so much for that resubscription. Greatly appreciate that. I hope you've all had a great day. Let's have some coffee and make some chicken. Sugar. Need sugar. I'm sweet. Oh, come on, focus. I guess there's a little bit in there. I'm trying to use that up on something tonight. Regardless of what weather you may be having this evening, thank you for joining me. Cheers. Studded tires. Wow. That's like... That's out there. That's like dirt roads thing. I would think most places don't want you to have studded tires for their pavement. Then again, some states just don't care. I forget if you're even in the states, but... Anyways... Providence. Okay. Yeah, you're up north. Hi, Nan Reader. Wash my hands up all nice so I can get them all funky with this chicken. Oh, it's just because it's like sleep marks on the chicken there. I was like, what's the deal there? And it's just because the wing was pushed up against it so hard that... So the plan tonight is to do chicken hindquarters, which I am going to soak in yogurt and some other savory, delicious things. Save the wings and breasts for something else some other time. Let's get rid of all that liquid in there. Alright, so we got those done. The rest of this I'm just doing to keep it packaged nicely for other things here. Ooh. I thought I was on the other side of that cartilage there. I've noticed they're doing necks more often in whole birds. I wonder if it's the weight to value, the labor cost to remove them. Because before, they were using the meat on them. Maybe they just missed it on this bird. Maybe this place hasn't been doing it lately. I don't know why. Hey, Chris. Now, I'm sort of annoyed at that dinner description because I know the bot successfully read that yogurt won from the Discord, and for it to not have included it in the description of what's going on this evening, it didn't include it in the going live announcements either. Hey, dragon. So we'll save the wings and the carcass for future stock making in the freezer. Same with the chicken breasts. One more hand wash up. So now these we're going to dry off because they are not very dry. You see how I avoided using that word? We'll let those sit for just a minute while I figure out what else I need to set up here. No, we need to get you marinating. Clean up our chicken stuffs.
Why am I putting that over there like it's a dish I'm gonna clean? So we'll start with some yogurt. Soy sauce. Worcestershire. Garlic. Come on. Red pepper flake. Where art thou? Where is my cumin? Nope, that's... We could do that instead if I can't find my cumin. There it is. Black pepper and MSG. Hey, Splits. That sounds like a delicious breakfast. Massaging my meat, chat. Oops. It went and got unsealed. It was unprotected. So we're going to let our chicken hang out with yogurt and everything else we threw in there. That's going to get roasted in the oven, but we're going to work on other things before we get there. Let's set this actually off the cutting board out of the way. Onion. Thinking of onions. Working on potatoes. And we're going to add nice spot. I just hope it's actually getting my captions tonight. things were a little funky last stream. It didn't log anything properly last stream for some reason. And what would you make with yogurt, chat? What would be your dessert choice? I was considering trying doing like yogurt bark. Because I mean, yogurt freezes pretty well. I was thinking you could maybe do like a chocolate / yogurt bark and throw nuts and fruits on it and throw that in the freezer. The thing that stopped me from doing that tonight was the store I was at. I'm not saying this is the case everywhere. The chocolate that I was going to pick up was a $10 bag. I was like, I'm not paying $10 for a bag of chocolate. I just refused to do that. I don't know if this store is pretty big on marking things up and playing, like, it's fighting against the big boys, so I mean, it's got to find its money somewhere. But still, is chocolate costing that much these days? Brains. It's not October anymore. It's not Halloween anymore. Get with the time scramble. So we're going to slice these into smaller chunks than this. I don't want them this big. Let's do about that. Yeah. Something like that'll work. Oops, hot water. We want cold water. Let's fill up a pot with some water here for putting our potatoes in. I'm going to salt the water, get that cooking. I get a smaller one in here. Sweet white onion. Actually, I don't know if it's a white onion, but it's sweet onion. Take one more layer off of this. I don't like how dirty that layer looks. I had real trouble getting ready for stream today. I did not want to do things today. Interesting. Actually, how do I want to cut this? big conversation in the creator club. People complaining about onions bothering their eyes. I've never really had that big of a deal with it. Every once in a while. But it really doesn't bother me all that much. I can honestly say that old school contacts are great for it, though. Like, when I first started getting into culinary stuff when I was in college, when I was in my first cooking jobs, I was using contacts that were the old school contacts that, like, starved your eyes of air. And you wore them to go to bed, you start giving yourself an astigmatism just for wearing contacts, sort of a thing. They were great for keeping the onion juice out of your eyes. But now I've had LASIK, 7, 8 years ago now. Love it. Wish I'd done it earlier. But I still don't really get it unless I get some really old onions. Like, you get onions that are heavily cured with solid 2-3 layers of cure on them. Those are typically the worst, and it doesn't. I haven't had much of a problem with them at all. I mean, the number one thing I can say is, and what I assume most of these people complaining about it don't have, is a sharp knife. Are they tearing? Are they just mashing their onions? Works for garlic, it doesn't work so well for onion. But if having a truly sharp knife, a knife sharp enough that you're worried you're going to cut yourself with it as much as the onion, I would say that the other one is the only real other options for you are look silly wearing goggles, which apparently some people do on stream. I have a suspicion that's more to look funny than actually accomplish something. Or you soak them in ice. You get them below 55 degrees. You get them below 55 degrees and most aromatics sort of shut off. I'm not aware of that splits. Logan, actor? Like, I'm not even 100% who Logan Paul is. It sort of sticks out in my mind like he may be the Australian dude. Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I don't follow up with WWE or WWF or WWE, whatever. Are they going to have one of those on the White House lawn, too? I'm gesturing like it's a wrestling square. I don't. Okay. Am I going to... I think I cut way too much onion. I think I need about that much. And this is extra. Yeah. Good question. I don't have a clue. I wonder how much of it, like, certain countries it isn't, like, in the US it's almost, our current president prefers, like, McDonald's, so this sort of rules that out, but it used to be, like, a prestigious thing to be White House chef or White House kitchen staff. And, you know, some other nations it's sort of like, you know, enlisted servicemen and stuff do it, sort of a thing. It's not all that glamorous. I mean, hey, in Alabama, it's probably a prisoner. It's probably a prisoner in Alabama, even if it is coming from McDonald's, because McDonald's has a contract with Alabama prisons to employ prisoners. Celery, green onion, carrot. Certainly. Not 100% what that entails. I almost got a job working in a bed and breakfast in Napa at one point. I've talked about that before. I got in there and interviewed with them. They were hiring an executive chef, but the they basically wanted a pastry chef to do all sorts of fancy cakes and decorations and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that's not really, like, I'm not really what you're looking for doing that. You're looking for a dedicated pastry chef that can do some cheese and a few savory things. You're not looking for other way around. And next week in the classifieds, they were looking for a pastry chef. But you're welcome to help clarify what you think it is. I'll work with you on it. That isn't a I'm uninterested. It's I'm not sure. I guess my question is what sort of dishes are that to you? Because, like, I don't think of there being a bed and breakfast that's sort of like the name in the game that would have set a standard. Cut the heat on that, just let that sit. Certainly. I'd still have questions for that, though, too. Are we going more tea party Sunday brunch? Or are we going big party Sunday brunch? Or are we going fancy but not highbrow? Or I don't know how to properly, like, fancy but not tea party. Like actual tea, like not political, like actual tea party. That works. I could do something along those lines. That's a little much. I mean, I've done lobster, I've done caviar before, but that was before everything cost twice as much. That's back when I was buying a 6-pack of wine every other month or so. I don't do that anymore. Why am I going in here for a mixing bowl? Now that sounds delicious. And love me some eggs Benedict. Love me some English muffins. You know, I'll take an excuse to make some English muffins. So taking celery and the onion, tossing them both in the mixing bowl here. Ian went out there doing Black Friday shopping early. Ewan scoping out deals ahead of time. Where's all the sales at, chat? Trying to decide where I want to go as far as flavoring for our potatoes. We're definitely using yogurt, and I'm debating if I want to go more mustardy heavy, or if I want to go more lemony with the olives being the sort of heavy, savory part to it. And maybe even do some spices in there. Let's see, in with our potato salad, we've got sweet onions, we've got very finely sliced celery, we've got our potatoes boiling, and green olives finely chopped. I'm thinking... Yeah, let's go mustard. What did I do with my... Did I leave it out? Yeah, it's out here on the counter. Add our yogurt. Mustard and... I don't know, mustard and... Google time. Okay, going with it. We're going to add some curry powder to this, little yellow curry powder to this as well. What do I want to mix this with? What do I got clean? What do I got available? I don't know how well done these potatoes are yet. Let's see how these potatoes are looking. I mean, we brought it to a boil, but are the potatoes actually cooked? I want to give those a little bit longer. I'm going to take all of our berries out of this container. This container is probably a horrible option for holding all of these. Where am I going to put them in, though? I want to use one of the wood bowls. Don't want to use a wood bowl. I guess we'll use one of these. And yeah, that's not nearly all gonna fit in there. We can put the berries in there though. This is me cost saving too. In the past, I would have just bought a couple of pieces of fruit and now this is more cost effective. That said, these strawberries are nowhere near as pretty as the ones that I normally get. They're not bad. They're better than... I don't think they're Driscoll's, but they're still not all that. Oh, those might be Driscoll's. They taste like Driscoll's. Yeah. We'll start heating our oven up. 400 for our chicken. Oh no, this is supposed to be done on a flat pan. This isn't supposed to be done on a drip rack. This isn't really gonna mess up this pan. I laugh because this pan is already pretty trashed. Frozen fruit, especially berries, often tastes better than any from the fresh section. That I would not be surprised by, yeah. Freezing helps break down fruit in a lot of interesting ways that it's actually a pretty good way to go if you're not streaming. If I wasn't streaming, my freezer would be full of all sorts of like frozen veggies and fruits that, you know, just pour and go. Downside, I think the era we're heading into, like everything's electric, but I think with AI taking up all the power plants and everything like that, and them talking about, like they're talking about California having roaming blackouts again, which hasn't happened for like 5 years. And like we could be looking at a world that's much less friendly to people that want to have gigantic refrigerators, a second refrigerator outside, or, you know, in the garage or in the basement, you know. I think the beer fridge may get too costly electricity wise here. I'm talking like 20 years down the road here. I'm not talking tomorrow. But that's like we're min-maxing our power grid. Government just signed $1 billion. Was it $1 billion or $1 trillion? A lot of money, whatever it was, to set up 3 Mile Island. When that's really just Microsoft powering a data center. Like, they had shut down 3 Mile Island. They're bringing it back online for Microsoft. All of them have re-signed contracts with major nuclear. Either they're partnering with nuclear partners or they're starting up nuclear plants all on their own. It's... And you have things like New Mexico where you have they're setting up data centers that consume more power than the rest of the state combined. And they're setting up in New Mexico because the power's cheap in New Mexico. Give them a couple minutes bubbling further. What I was searching earlier. I don't know if I was clear. I said I'm going to go ahead and Google that. I wasn't sure how often mustard and yellow curry go together. And Google was all like, yeah, it's in like 20 different things. And it's like, okay, let's give it a shot. But I'm still not sure how that's going to turn out as a flavor combo together. How's our new vote going in Discord for next Wednesday? I put that up yesterday. Ooh, we got a close one. We got potato flour versus cheddar cheese next week. I'm sort of watching the potatoes bubbling up to the top to see if any of them look like they're separating from their skins, which is really sort of the point that I want to be just before they cut off, but that's more of a practice thing. I'm not going to see that here. I'm gonna go with them. Cooked or not, we're gonna go with them. Hot potatoes going in with everything else. Salt. We'll let that cool down together. Mustard and the cumin do go together. I think that needs a little more. Let's do a little more yogurt and a little bit more mustard in that. It's our oven coming to 400 degrees for our chicken. Yeah, there we go. Now that's all nice and soaked. We'll let that hang out. Alright, let's get our chicken together. Get that in the oven and cooking. Because that's going to take a minute here. We have our marinated chicken with the yogurt and seasonings. If I can get this to squeeze some of this out. This is sort of a play on a tandoori-like chicken, which would be done in a tandoori oven. It's looking to get nice and roasty. We're looking to get that yogurt nice and dark and cooked. So this is going to look heavily caramelized, roasted once we get our full 40 minutes on these. And those are going in right now for roughly 40 minutes. More or less, depending on your oven, obviously.
Can I make corned beef hash? I can. I have made hash before on stream. I don't remember if it was corned beef for sure. Hash is one of those things that's sort of like best made from leftover ingredients. So I don't really feel like making hash specifically to make hash is authentic. Like, hash is sort of like, it's right up there with making stocks to make a stock. It's sort of one of these dishes that is built into, we have these things around, we want to keep them fresh, and we're going to rotate them through into the hash after they've not sold the first day. Like, I sort of feel like the best place you could have corned beef hash is a place that makes corned beef. There aren't many of those places that sell corned beef hash and make corned beef, but I sort of feel like that would be like the ideal situation. Because they're slicing it probably for all sorts of sandwiches and stuff like that, and they'll have the burnt ends, the rough cuts, the shredded stuff, all that leftover stuff that they can just chop up and throw into the hash, and you get all these odd ends and cuts, and it's just amazing. Love me a good hash, but at the same time, it's such a lazy and use up leftover ingredients recipe. It's let's see here. We got about 20 minutes to kill here. What do we got going on in the news? Let's see if we got anything to chat about here while we're waiting. Otherwise, we might take a little bit of a break. We still got to make our dessert. It was 1 billion, not 1 trillion. Oops, nope, that's chefjt.com. That's not the bot website. Let's see if the computer's going nuts. Yeah, it's having issues reading my captions. Oh well. Now our president is doing Filet-O-Fish impersonations? Really? Is that really a headline I just read? Oh hey, those are two headlines I can't read, because they're in Korean? Oh yeah, all sorts of Michelin stars just got awarded on the East Coast. I didn't look at the list, but there's a new list of Michelin starred restaurants. lobster and asparagus. Like, before, truffles also, to me, are something I'm never going to probably get outside of a restaurant. Because, and I've bought the little, like, in oil truffles and stuff like that. They're not the same. They're not a good quality. And then the ones that are coming to restaurants, they're from, like, suppliers that just do truffle, and they're there at the restaurant to sell them truffles. It's an actually sort of weird world with that. Like, there's actually an truffle farm here in California. I don't know if it still is, but it was for sale. If anyone wants to get into the truffle business. The original Californian truffle farm, from my understanding. The problems with the state is it's in the middle of nowhere and it's gigantic, and so it's in it's like Southern California, but it's like eastern, like desert, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's central, but I think it was southern. Ooh, let's see this. I like visual aids. Visual aids are good. Chart below shows how food prices have increased since January 2022. 18.2%. That's been all over the place. That's a roller coaster ride. I don't want to be in the apparel business. Wow. Oh, it's seasonal peak, and that makes more sense, but still. Wow. This is sort of like, show me 100 kilowatt hours, or show me something of actual, like, kilowatt hour. Really? You're gonna break it down that small? Like, I'm gonna be able to tell my monthly expenses off of that? That's surprising. I mean, I knew the used car and trucks majorly spiked in COVID, but I didn't know that they had such a drop afterward. Anyways. Oh, let's see what Taco Bell is out sending out here. I already don't like them. Tell me what you're actually selling me. We've got the California Crunchwrap, which uses steak, adds seasoned fries, and guacamole. Which, no. Like, guacamole is the only, like, Californian thing I can think of that's there. Like, and it's guacamole, so it's not Californian. Like, steak, I think of seasoned fries and sandwiches as like a East Coast college food truck thing or sandwich shop thing. I think of it as cheap. I don't like potato in a lot of my Mexican foods. I don't like potato in my burritos. So I don't like that at all. We have Burrito Bliss. Continuing on, tell me what you're selling me. This is like, you know, you're trying to create a vegetarian remake of Taco Bell's cheesy bean and rice burrito that features seasoned rice, beans, and pico de gallo. And avocado ranch. Like, that, there's, no. Ew. Yeah, none of those hit. Cantina Craze. Cantina Chicken Crispy Taco Remix that adds creamy jalapeno sauce, lettuce, tomatoes, and sour cream. No. Like, no. Like, what about that says Cantina Craze to you? Jalapeno? Chorizo and potato, that's almost a different category in my mind. It's like, these names are Cantina Craze, California Crunchwrap, and Burrito Bliss. These are actual items that they're trying to sell at Taco Bell these days. Like, and we're trying to enforce a world where we're not eating processed foods and stuff like that. They're trying to be like peak Starbucks, and peak Starbucks was pretty cringe. They're trying to have like those multicolor unicorn drinks that feature on Instagram before TikTok was a thing. If anyone wants to see what I'm complaining about here. Just no. Like, I don't want... And I sort of like Crunchwraps. I don't want steak Crunchwraps. I want a ground beef Crunchwrap. Like, the steak ones are not good to begin with. Like, I don't think that's an upgrade to add steak but add potatoes to make it cheaper to make. Hi, Alex. Really? That's interesting. Taco Bell and Tobacco. Taco Bell and Canada not getting along? We're going to turn the rest of this yogurt into our dip for tonight. And start by adding a bunch of powdered sugar. Getting that marshmallow cream out. We'll mix the powdered sugar into the yogurt first. Make sure there aren't a whole bunch of big lumps in there. There's a couple still, but there's still more other stuff to mix in there too. And then marshmallow fluff or cream. I didn't do it. I don't know if the sirens came across on. I'm trying to save myself a dish by doing this in the container. But this probably would have been done better with a whisk. So I think I'm going to do that now. Get this properly mixed. Oh, and I'm using sheep yogurt tonight. If you're curious what my yogurt choice is.
like that sort of where it's at, but I do think we can make it a little better. Cherry juice, Luxardo cherry juice. Vanilla bean paste. See what we got. That coated nicely. Yep, that's delicious. I'm guessing just too much sugar. It's probably fine to be out. So that is our fruit dip for tonight. How is our chicken looking? We got a lot of time still to wait on our chicken. I was thinking that took me a good 10 minutes to do that. It was like less than 5. I can smell the curry and the mustard off of these. It smells delicious. It smells a little like hot dogs in the house right now. Nice, Muskeg. I was also saying my alternative dessert for tonight, other than this one, was I was thinking of doing yogurt bark, which you can spread out yogurt on a sheet tray, or whatever will fit in your freezer. And nice thin layer, maybe drizzle some chocolate over the top of it, throw some fruit on top of that, and throw that in the freezer. You can even take it to the next level and coat all the fruit in like sugar or something like that. So when it freezes, it's even better. And then you can break it up after it's sort of broken. But it's one of those, like, I doubt it would hold up nicely after it defrosts, but it could be a cool, like, broken up dessert while it's still frozen. I was going to do that until I looked at the price of chocolate in the supermarket, and I decided that I didn't want to spend $10 on a bag of chocolate to do a chocolate drizzle. So I bought a container of marshmallow fluff instead. It cost me less than $4. Wow, that vanilla is really... Like, I bought this vanilla before. I picked it up at the warehouse store the other day. Like, I don't know if this is really the best deal. Like, it's handy and nice to work with. It's got a good flavor to it. But I think in that fashion, it's just so... You have to use more of it. And the price for... I don't know if it's really... I shouldn't probably gotten that. I did also get some real vanilla beans, because that's in season this time of year. So we got real vanilla beans in the house, too. That's for, like, the next year. Like, if we're doing any desserts that'll do really good with a vanilla bean, or along that line. It's available. But we got about another 15 minutes here on this chicken. 13. So I'm going to do a little bit of an AFK, and we'll come back to plate everything up. Show everyone the finish. Final dish. See all your lovely faces back here in a little over 10 minutes.
Univac, the giant electronic brain made only by Remington Rand, takes business statistics from magnetic tape, letters, numbers, and punctuation marks, processing them through its electronic circuits at phenomenal speeds. Univac can compute payrolls electronically, then produce printed checks in a flash. Over 8,000 checks an hour with this high-speed printer. Univac leads the field of electronic computing.
Say, do you remember this old milk glass setting hen? Well, you know, milk glass was an early American favorite. And when the folks in the old days wanted something really delightful, they'd take one of their milk glass goblets and pour some very fine wine right into it. Well, now, you know, it's Welch's wine that is keeping this wonderful tradition alive. A real wine for folks who really want the best. Yes, today's answer to this age-old family tradition is Welch's Family Wine, the answer to warm hospitality and really gracious living, and the wine that so many Americans enjoy these wintry days. You know, there is very good reason for this ever-increasing popularity of Welch's wine. Now, you folks know that all sweet Concord kosher wines are made from grape juice. And everybody knows who has been making the very finest grape juice for the past 85 years. Welch's, of course. And that's right, the only kosher wine made from Welch's grape juice is naturally Welch's kosher wine. Now, when you want the best in grape juice, you buy Welch's. So, doesn't it make sense then, if you want the best and most delicious kosher wine, you insist on Welch's Family Wine? You get several bottles tomorrow. Try the half-gallon size. You enjoy the wine of all occasions. That's right, when it comes to wine, you'll do well to insist on Welch's.
Schmidt's Blue Ribbon Bread gives you 7 ounces of non-fat milk solids in every loaf, the equal of 90 quarts a year if you serve it regularly. Every sandwich you make, every snack, gives you extra milk. For wonderful flavor combined with sound food values, serve Schmidt's Blue Ribbon Bread in the pantry pack.
It's the newest, most exciting sound in town. It's a General Electric blender that's going around. Completely new from base to lid. Take it apart, see what they did. The non-skid base is the lowest you'll ever see.
The decanter has a 36-ounce blending capacity.
The non-spill lid is really smart. For blending convenience, it comes apart. Add additional ingredients, if you will. Look, no splash, see no spill. Put them all together and you know it's true. The General Electric blender is best for you. If you want to know another reason why,
It's only 10 1/2 inches high.
stores easily on the counter or on a shelf. There's 1,000 things you can make yourself.
Make party spreads.
Great cabbage heads. Blend the meatloaf for a family of 8. Make ice-cold drinks you'll appreciate. Now's the time for you to buy the General Electric blender.
Did he say only 10 1/2 inches high?
You are now looking at a slice of bread being spread with creamy-style Skippy peanut butter, as only Mary Ellen can spread it there. All right, now, as you look at that, don't want you to leave me, because I want to show you something, believe it or not, that a lot of people like even better. Suppose we were to take some fresh roasted peanuts here, and like Mary Ellen has been doing all evening, and putting them in a nut chopper here. Give a couple more little chugs, will you, please? Mm-hmm. I think that'll do it just fine. Now you find in there some just tiny little golden nuggets of roasted peanuts, and they are colossal. Now, I want to try something here. Suppose we were to take these, now let me try an experiment, do you mind, honey? And we'd sprinkle them over the creamy-style Skippy. Say, how is that, huh?
Ooh, that looks good.
It does look good. All I did that for was to tell you that you can get that and enjoy it anytime you want. You won't have to go through any chopping process either, because the Skippy people do that for you in chunk style. That's done for you up in the factory. Now, chunk style, you see, has sprinkled all through it very generously through the entire jar those golden little nuggets that you saw there, just about like that. So that's already done for you there. Now, of course, either style, whether it's cream or chunky, if you get Skippy, you are getting the peanut butter that stays fresh right down to the last spoonful in the jar. And so I make it very simple again. I want you to know that this is an honest fact.
If you like peanuts, you'll like Skippy.
Satisfying cups of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment right. Fresh aroma, friendly flavor. Make it coffee, make it often, make it right.
To brighten any moment.
Make it coffee.
To enjoy that fresh aroma.
Make it often.
Make it up fresh each time in a clean container. And for full flavor,
make it right.
And here's how. For each cup of fresh drawn water, use one approved measure of your favorite coffee. That's all, one approved measure per cup.
Satisfying cups of pleasure. A coffee break makes the moment bright. Fresh aroma, friendly flavor. Make it coffee. Make it often. Make it right.
Now, at your favorite grocery store, the most amazing food wrap ever developed, Saran Wrap.
Have you tried Saran Wrap? It really is amazing. Saran Wrap is crystal clear plastic. It keeps everything you wrap in plain sight. And look, Saran Wrap clings like magic. It makes a neat package of anything you wrap, without strings or tape or rubber bands. Foods stay fresh far longer and taste better, too, because the flavor is locked in. Now you can prepare sandwiches for picnics and lunch boxes ahead of time and be sure they'll stay fresh and tasty. You see, Saran Wrap is a wonderful time saver as well as a food saver. Prove it in your own kitchen. Buy a roll of Saran Wrap today and you won't be without it again.
Get Saran Wrap at your grocer's. Saran Wrap is a product of the Dow Chemical Company.
A pleasure, Milton. In just a moment, we'll see how well Milton does at the Pentagon. But if you want to see busy hands at your house, just you offer this lively Christmas party dip that's so good to serve with king-size Fritos corn chips. Just follow the recipe right on the Fritos package. Of course, it calls for the famous Philadelphia brand cream cheese, an 8-ounce package, which we blended with 2 tablespoons of milk till it's nice and smooth, like so. Then come 2 tablespoons of Kraft cream-style horseradish for zesty flavor, a 1/4 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce, and finally, a dash of salt. And we'll blend our Philly mixture again. And when party time comes, let the folks enjoy this wonderful Philly horseradish dip with crisp king-size Fritos. There are those busy hands. Just remember, you make the best-tasting dips with the freshest-tasting cream cheese you can buy. Philadelphia brand cream cheese, made only by Kraft.
If you're a student, a mother active in club work, a man who brings work home from the office, this was made for you. The Remington Office Writer, a new kind of portable designed to give you the extra features you need. King-size carriage, So long it can handle a sheet of school notebook paper lengthwise. Look, the office writer types nearly the full 11-inch length of the paper, the only portable it can. The office writer types up to 10 carbons, so that even the very last copy is easy to read. Cut clear, clean stencils unlike any ordinary portable. See the exciting new Remington office writer at your dealers. The price only $149.50, carrying case at slight additional cost. Available after a small down payment for only $1.50 a week. Terms payable monthly, including taxes and a small carrying charge.
Well, no wonder my laundry bill is so high. All those napkins last week.
Doeskin.
What?
You should use Doeskin dinner napkins.
Paper napkins? Oh, no.
I don't mean thin little paper napkins, but Doeskin dinner napkins. You'll love them.
Everybody loves Doeskin dinner napkins. These soft linen-like napkins are 2-ply in smart formal fold, in white and in beautiful pastel colors. And Doeskin dinner napkins are big. They cover your whole lap, and they stay put. What's more, they last throughout the meal, and they leave no lint.
They are nice. And they would save my linen.
They save you money, too. Doeskin dinner napkins cost only 49 cents for 5 dozen. That's a fraction of a penny apiece.
All right, Dottie.
You'll find Doeskin dinner napkins, Doeskin facial tissues, and other Doeskin products at your favorite grocery, supermarket, department store, or drugstore. Look for the brown dispenser box.
Doeskin.
You can be in command of your own ideal countdown. It's a real electronic missile base. You sit at the controls and move missiles into place. You count down. You blast off. You track the flight. The ideal countdown comes complete with moon missile and lunar probe, as well as a giant atlas. Get your electronic ideal countdown now, wherever good toys are sold.
It's a wonderful toy. It's ideal.
Alexis Lachine wines are full of flavor. Alexis Lachine wines are dry. Alexis Lachine wines are mellow. Drink an Alexis Lachine wine with any kind of food. Or anytime you feel like relaxing with a drink. Alexis Lachine, fine French wines.
I'm a guitar and I have strings. I like to play while someone sings. Hi, gang. Do you recognize this mouse guitar? It's just like the one the Mouseketeers gave me. And now Mattel Toy Makers, the people who made my mouse guitar, have a big surprise for you. You can have your very own mouse guitar just like mine. And look, I wrote out all the instructions so you can learn to play the songs we play on the show. Remember, gang, you can now get the mouse guitar wherever toys are sold for only $4. Hey, I almost forgot. Be sure to see the Mouseketeer Junior, too. Just turn the crank and it plays the Mouseketeer theme song. The Mouseketeer Junior is only $1.80. Be sure to look for this label, gang. You can tell it's Mattel. It's swell.
Welcome back. So, we've got our potato salad basically done. We've got everything basically done. We're got 2-3 minutes left here on our chicken. Well, maybe not even that. Let's take a look at this. That's starting to get there. It's got some good color here and there. I'm going to give that slightly longer. Green onion. So all the whites, all the hardier part of the green, we're just going to toss that into potato salad, mix that in. This we're going to save is garnish for our plate. And I guess we'll do berries first. And rinse the green onion off of my hands before I handle the berries. Even not having even just the juice of the green onions is gonna give a little flavor transfer. We'll just avoid any of that chance. We'll try and carefully pour this, hoping to avoid majority of bubbles. Yeah, you're ugly. Yeah, there we go. How's that for bed and breakfast? Hey, this username. Welcome, welcome. Happy Wednesday to you. Let's see, what else could I do for this? Do I have any of that? I know I got green. Do I have red? I do. This is just some colored sugar. Sugar sprinkles, I don't know what you want to call them. No naan. I am doing, well, we have here a yogurt dipping sauce with fresh fruit and Biscoff. This is a combination of marshmallow fluff, yogurt. There was a little bit of maraschino cherry juice, a little bit of vanilla, some powdered sugar. You know, just slightly thick, nicely coating. And that's what's also in here with the sugar on top, so that we have nice coating liquid for all of our fruit. Grab a photo of this. And then over here, for our second plate, or rather our dinner plate, I pick you. We have our yogurt marinated in roasted chicken. And a yellow curry and mustard potato salad with sweet onion, celery, and green onion and green olive, along with our potatoes. Yogurt was, I said it on Monday, this is pretty much a easy slam dunk. Like, we do have next week's vote going on between, I believe it's potato flour. Yeah, potato flour. And I'm spacing on the second one now. Cheddar cheese. So, like, that's another one we can knock out of the park here, hopefully, next week. Whether you like cheddar cheese or potato flour, there's all sorts of options for both of those lovely things. And if you want me to have something harder, you gotta submit some more ingredients and vote for them. We're actually getting sort of light on our suggested ingredients now. We're down to the 4 votes, and actually I need to clean up the ones that are outdated too. Let's get a photo of this. Just enough room that can hide you from the rest of it. And now everything together. Everyone close in. Shoulder to shoulder. Make friends. How do you think I did for it not being a challenge? There are some things that I just sort of wrote off that, like, I wasn't going to do. I considered panna cotta, but panna cottas take forever to cure, so I never really do those for stream. Like, it's one of those dishes, puddings, panna cottas, there's a fair number of them where you just sort of need to let them sit for a little bit. Absolutely, ingredients that have lost can immediately be suggested. Ingredients that have previously won, I'm not very strict on it. It's mostly if I notice it, but I try to keep a year before we repeat a winning ingredient. So the ones that have won, I try to not have in the list for a year, but the rest are welcome. And I also welcome some funkier suggestions and stuff like that. Some of my harder dinners where
really weird and odd ingredients. Though I will say that I am getting very tired of trying to put chocolate in savory ingredients. You can put chocolate in a fair number of savory. It just means that you have to have something heavy. You're doing a mole, you're doing a chili, you're doing... Warheads were on the easier end for me. Like, all sorts of hard candies and stuff like that just boil down to nice sauces. So many sauces are just sweet fruit flavored sauces to begin with. The real problem comes from most candies being artificial flavors. But, you know, sort of get what you put in. You know? The worst one I would say that I've done so far, which I'm glad that I did it, but I'm not exactly interested in doing it again, was After Eight dinner mints. Or the same things as, they're essentially the same things as like an Andes mint here in the US. Sort of like a cross between an Andes mint and a Klondike bar. They're like, they got that like sweet paste that Klondike does, but it's in a thin chocolate piece, like an Andes chocolate. Yeah, that was first year. I don't know that I want to do crickets again either. I did not enjoy crickets. Crickets did not taste good. They smelled horrible too. It might have just been my source of crickets. But yeah, I did not enjoy crickets. It was interesting. I mean, I made brownies. I made cricket flour brownies. I turned the crickets into flour and then made brownies. I forget what I did for the savory side with that dinner. It's in the archive, or it should be. What's the archive, you say? I haven't hyped this in a minute. Need to mute you. ChefJT.com, where you can see my current stream. You have the most recent streams here, but if you click on View All Videos, we have the stream archive with all 1,000+ previous streams on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah. All right, folks. Where do we leave things from here? I think this is where I'm going to call it an evening. We're going to go say hello to someone else. I'm trying to raid out every night nowadays.
to be different. I'm going to send all you lovely people off. To go hang out with Room and Board, who is finishing up a roasted fall salad. I hope you all have a great evening. I appreciate you joining me. I hope to see you back here on Friday when we're doing chili cheeseburgers and fries. Have a great night, everyone. Good night.